Welcome to the GAMERamble video review for Koral, narrated by me, Darkcloud. As always, the full text version of this review can be found on the GAMERamble website, linked below. The TLDR for Koral is that it's a short puzzle game set in tranquil underwater environments. As a love letter to the ocean, it highlights the beauty and diversity of life underneath the sea, while telling an important message about the destruction being wrought by humanity. While fun to play, the game is concise, and even with some variation in the puzzles, some parts can feel a little tedious. However, players who can overlook these flaws will find a game that was clearly a labor of love. Gameplay receives a 6 out of 10. Koral features some mild puzzle solving and is relaxing for the most part, but the timed elements might annoy casual players. Graphics receives an 8 out of 10. The 3D models for the aquatic life and the parallax for the fore and background elements makes for a good looking game. Sound receives 7 out of 10. The music is calm most of the time, but isn't afraid to tug on your heartstrings with some emotional orchestral swells in some spots. The overall score is 7 out of 10. And now for the full review. Did you know that over 55% of the world's reefs are threatened by destructive fishing? Or that there are about 500 dead zones in the ocean created by pollution? Neither did we, but after playing Koral, we know these and other sobering facts about the ocean. The developer of Koral, Carlos Coronado, describes it as a love letter to the ocean, and since he made the game on a boat in the marine reserve, we're inclined to believe him. However, there's more to this brief indie game than just reminders about how terrible humanity is for the environment. In Koral, players take control of a sea current and are tasked with bringing coral reefs back to life. This can be done by collecting the healing energy of other aquatic plant life and then transporting it to where it is needed. It's a non-violent game with light puzzle elements that can be completed in less than 3 hours, but with a message that will stay with players for much longer. Although it uses Unreal Engine 4, Koral keeps all the action on a 2D plane as players maneuver their small sea current around the beautiful environments. Coronado has used UE4 marketplace character packs for the ocean environments, fish, animals and other underwater life seen in the game. The results are impressive as shadowy shapes swim about in the background until players heal the area, revealing the life forms in their full splendor. Koral makes good use of parallel effects as well as some shiny particle effects and bloom to spice up the visuals. Unfortunately, the foreground visuals can sometimes obscure the view. Some areas are also beautiful, while others feel more barren. However, this is to be expected in a game that draws attention to the damage being done to the ocean by destructive fishing and other eco-disasters. The game starts in a healthy reef before moving through caves, shipwrecks and the deep. In total, there are 15 different sea ecosystems for players to experience in their journey. As is expected for a game set entirely underwater, the music in Koral is suitably mellow and low-key. However, some nice orchestral swells kick in whenever something dramatic happens on screen. Sound effects are decent for the most part, apart from one or two that can be a little grating. Unfortunately, the game does not feature voice acting and instead uses text boxes for the ocean facts. These are scattered about as glowing orbs that count as collectibles. Tracking them down isn't too hard, and players can replay previous chapters, but getting all 32 of them does pad out the playtime a little bit. The controls in Koral are very straightforward, and the game can be played with either a gamepad or a keyboard. The only thing players can control directly is the direction in which their sea current moves. Each area is gated by pollution barriers that hold progress until players solve all the puzzles needed to clear them. The puzzles mainly involve collecting healing energy and transporting these to the right spots, but the game does introduce some variation in this process. Initially, healing the corals is easy as picking up the clearly marked energy orbs and taking them to where they are needed. Later on, players have to make use of coral switches to open up pathways or swim through unique plants for speed boosts, required to get to specific points on time. It never becomes too challenging, but the time sections in particular do require some reflexes to complete. Unfortunately, even with the brief playtime offered by the game and the changing puzzle mechanics, some sections can feel tedious. Koral is not the first game with the ecological theme set underwater, neither is it the best looking or most entertaining one. Nevertheless, the game definitely has its moments and offers a relaxing experience for the most part. While it doesn't quite have the same impact as titles like Abzu, it's still an impressive effort from any developer who had an important message to share. Thanks for joining me for this Koral PC review. Remember to like, subscribe and share. Until next time.